The silent guardians. The crystalline spires of Harmony Station pierced the violet skies of Proxima Vi, their transparent surfaces refracting starlight in hypnotic patterns. Within the station's central observatory, lead researcher Zira adjusted her environmental field as she studied the latest readings from the excavation site. Her translucent form rippled with shades of azure and gold, betraying her mounting excitement. "Elder Ven," she called out, her telepathic voice resonating with barely contained enthusiasm. "The energy signatures are unlike anything in our archives." The ancient Aetherian drifted across the chamber, his crystalline form casting prismatic reflections across the curved walls. The Aetherians, a species of energy-based beings who had evolved in the corona of their home star, had established Harmony Station as their furthest research outpost in the Outer Rim. Their dedication to understanding the universe's mysteries had led them to this remote system, where they had discovered ruins predating all known civilizations. "Show me," Ven commanded, his own form pulsing with scholarly interest. The holographic display expanded, revealing a three-dimensional map of the excavation site. Deep beneath the planet's surface, a network of chambers pulsed with an otherworldly energy that defied their most advanced scanning techniques. Whatever the ancients had built here, it was still active after millennia of dormancy. "The power readings are increasing exponentially," Zira explained, manipulating the display with precise movements of her energy field. "But there's something else." She hesitated, her form flickering with uncertainty. "The frequency. It's resonating with something in space, something beyond our system." Ven was about to respond when the station's alert system activated, bathing the observatory in crimson light. "Multiple vessels detected," the automated system announced. "Unknown configuration. Weapon signatures detected." The peaceful atmosphere of academic pursuit vanished instantly. Harmony Station, true to the Aetherian philosophy, maintained only minimal defensive capabilities. They were researchers, not warriors, their species having evolved beyond physical violence millennia ago. 6 vessels, Zira reported, accessing the sensor feeds. "Their energy signatures match no known civilization in our database." Her form pulsed with alarm as new data streamed in. "They're running active weapon scans of our outer hull." Ven's ancient form darkened with concern. The Aetherians' natural ability to manipulate energy fields made them fascinating to less enlightened species, particularly those who saw their abilities as potential weapons. It wouldn't be the first time their research stations had attracted unwanted attention. "Begin emergency protocols," he ordered, his voice carrying the weight of centuries of wisdom. "Encrypt all research data and prepare for immediate evacuation." "Elder," Zira interrupted, her form brightening with sudden inspiration. "The humans." The mention sent a ripple of complex emotions through the observatory. The Aetherians' first contact with humanity had occurred less than a stellar cycle ago, when a human exploration vessel discovered one of their remote research stations. The initial meeting had been tense. The humans' dense physical forms and electromagnetic signatures had triggered deep-rooted defensive instincts in the Aetherian crew. But what followed had surprised everyone. The humans, despite their intimidating physical presence, had shown remarkable sensitivity to Aetherian customs. They carefully modulated their electromagnetic emissions, demonstrated genuine interest in Aetherian research, and offered technological trades that had accelerated Aetherian studies by decades. Most importantly, they had given the Aetherians an emergency quantum beacon, a direct line to Earth Fleet Command. "If you ever need help," the human ambassador had said, "just signal. We'll come." "The humans are half a sector away," Ven noted, though his form betrayed his consideration of the option. Their vessels would never arrive in time. Another alert blared. The unknown ships had launched smaller craft, boarding vessels, their energy signatures burning hot with weapons charging. "They're targeting our research databases," Zira realized, her form pulsing with determination. "The artifacts, if they discover what we found." Ven made his decision. "Send the signal," he commanded. Everything we have on these ships and our situation. He paused, watching the approaching vessels on the main display. And Zera, add a personal message. Tell them we're calling in that promise. As Zera activated the quantum beacon, its impossible energies reaching across space and time to Earth, the first impacts shook Harmony Station. The unknown vessels had begun their assault, their energy weapons testing the station's minimal shields. But unknown to the attackers, they had just made a fatal mistake. They had threatened a species under humanity's protection, and in doing so, they were about to learn why Earth's children were called Deathworlders, not because they sought violence, but because when their friends needed help, nothing in the universe could stop them from answering the call. Deathworlders rising. Admiral Helena Chen stood motionless in Earth Fleet Command's strategic center, her weathered face illuminated by the quantum beacon's urgent message. Around her, the command center hummed with controlled chaos as officers coordinated what would become the largest rapid deployment in human military history. Analysis confirms 6 hostile vessels, Captain Rodriguez reported, neural interfaces streaming data directly into his consciousness. Energy weapons, phase shields, but their hull composition suggests low-gravity evolution. Typical raiders. Time to intercept? Chen asked, though the answer was already burning in her mind. 18 hours at maximum burn, even with the new Alcubierre drives. Rodriguez's face tightened. The Etherians won't last that long. Chen's eyes narrowed, focusing on the prototype vessel displayed in the corner of her tactical screen. The ESS Thunderchild, humanity's most closely guarded secret. A warship built not just for combat, but for the impossible. "Get me the Thunderchild," she ordered. The room fell silent. The Thunderchild wasn't just experimental, it was revolutionary. Its quantum fold drive could cross vast distances almost instantly, but the stress on both ship and crew was enormous. Some said it was like being torn apart at the atomic level and reassembled. They weren't entirely wrong. "Admiral," Rodriguez started, "the Thunderchild hasn't completed its final trials. The medical team's reports on quantum fold effects. The Etherians helped us crack cold fusion." Chen cut him off. "They shared their gravitic technology. More importantly, they trusted us." She turned to face the command staff. "I made them a promise. We all did." One by one, hands raised across the room. Chen felt a surge of pride. This was humanity at its finest. Not the brute strength others feared, but the unwavering determination to protect those who couldn't protect themselves. Aboard the Thunderchild, Captain Sarah Morgan received the alert with grim satisfaction. Her ship, sleek and deadly against the backdrop of Mars orbital shipyards, was already coming alive as crew members rushed to their stations. "Engineering reports quantum fold drive is charging," Lieutenant Wei announced. "Medical is prepping neural dampeners and stasis pods for the crew. They're recommending triple doses." Morgan nodded. The quantum fold drive didn't just bend space. It shattered it, creating impossible shortcuts through reality itself. The human body wasn't meant to experience such distortions. But then, humans had a long history of doing things they weren't meant to do. "All hands, this is the captain," she announced shipwide. "We've received a distress call from Harmony Station. The Etherian research outpost is under attack from unknown hostile forces. Command has authorized an emergency quantum fold jump." She paused, letting the implications sink in. "This is a volunteer mission. Anyone who wishes to step down, now is the time." The only response was the sound of crew members checking their equipment and securing their stations. In the ship's marine bay, Major Diana Torres supervised as her troops conducted final checks on their powered armor. The Thunderchild's complement of Marines was small but elite, specially trained for variable gravity combat. "Remember your training," she called out. "The Etherians operate in near-zero gravity environments. That means we'll be significantly stronger than anything we encounter. Control your movements. We're there to protect them, not accidentally tear their station apart." "What about the hostiles, Major?" Sergeant Chen asked. calibrating her suit's mass compensators. Unknown configuration, Torres replied, but they evolved in low gravity, just like the Aetherians. Their weapons, their armor, their ships, all designed for forces far less than what we're used to. She smiled grimly. Time to show them why Earth is called a death world. On the bridge, Captain Morgan received final authorization from Admiral Chen. Thunderchild, you are cleared for emergency quantum fold jump. Good hunting, and bring our friends home safe. Morgan took a deep breath, looking around at her crew. They were ready. They were willing. They were about to attempt something no human ship had ever done. A combat deployment via quantum fold drive. Helm, plot course for Harmony Station, she ordered. Engineering, quantum fold drive to full power. Medical, begin neural dampener distribution. Her voice was steady, confident. Let's show these raiders what happens when you threaten those under humanity's protection. The Thunderchild's experimental drive began to glow, twisting the very fabric of space around the ship. In 15 minutes, they would either make history or become it. But one thing was certain, help was coming to Harmony Station, faster than anyone in the galaxy would believe possible. And with that help came humanity's message to the cosmos. Those who prey on the weak would learn why Earth's children were both respected and feared throughout known space. Storm of steel. Reality shattered as the Thunderchild emerged from quantum fold, its hull crackling with impossible energies. On the bridge, Captain Morgan's vision cleared as the neural dampeners fought back the effects of the fold. The tactical display showed Harmony Station dead ahead, and 6 hostile vessels surrounding it. Multiple hull breaches detected on the station, Lieutenant Wee reported, his voice steady despite the lingering effects of the jump. Life support holding but failing in sections. Enemy boarding parties detected throughout. Weapons status, Morgan ordered, studying the tactical overlay. Kinetic drivers charged. Point defense grid online. Mass driver batteries ready. Morgan allowed herself a grim smile. The raiders had evolved in low gravity, built their ships for low gravity. They were about to learn what weapons designed on a death world could do. Target the nearest vessel. Full spread of kinetic drivers. Show them what 3 times Earth normal acceleration does to a projectile. The Thunderchild's main batteries roared to life, launching tungsten rods at velocities that would have been impossible for low-gravity species to achieve. The nearest raider ship's shields flared brilliantly and failed completely as physics reasserted itself. The kinetic impact shattered their hull like glass. Inside Harmony Station, Elder Van witnessed the human vessel's arrival through the observatory's quantum sensors. The Aetherian's crystalline form pulsed with relief and fascination as he observed the sheer energy output of the human vessel. Impossible, one of his researchers whispered. They crossed half a sector in minutes. Before Van could respond, new alerts flashed across their screens. The station's quantum sensors detected multiple launches from the Thunderchild. But these weren't weapons. They were pods, burning hard for Harmony Station's breached sections. In the lead drop pod, Major Torres watched the range counter tick down. Around her, her Marines checked weapons and armor one final time. Each suit of powered armor was a masterpiece of human engineering, designed to let them fight in any environment from hard vacuum to crushing depths. Remember, she broadcast to her team, we're here to protect the Aetherians. Watch your fire, watch your strength, and show these raiders why you don't mess with humanity's friends. The pod slammed through the already breached hull sections, deploying instantly. Torres's HUD lit up with multiple hostile contacts and the distinct energy signatures of Aetherian civilians. Weapons free, she ordered, bringing her railgun to bear. Protect the civilians at all costs. The raiders never stood a chance. Their weapons, designed for low-gravity combat, barely scratched the Marines' armor. Their own protection, evolved for environments a fraction of Earth's gravity, offered little resistance to human weapons. In space, the battle continued. The Thunderchild moved with impossible grace for a ship its size. Its gravitic drives, refined with Aetherian help, letting it pull maneuvers that would have torn apart any normal vessel. Enemy vessels attempting to regroup, Way reported. They're charging what appears to be a mass accelerator cannon. Morgan nodded. Let them. Show me their firing solution. The tactical display highlighted the raiders' target zone, a predictive cone based on their weapons' apparent capabilities. Helm, on my mark, full power to the gravitational lensing array. Let's show them another trick we learned from our Aetherian friends. The raiders fired, their combined weapons sending a massive projectile towards the Thunderchild. At the last possible moment, Morgan gave the order. The space around her ship distorted as gravitic fields bent reality itself. The raiders' shot curved impossibly, missing completely, and impacting one of their own vessels. Send them a message, Morgan ordered. All frequencies, all languages our database knows. Her voice carried across space, transmitted to every raider vessel. This is Captain Morgan of the Earth vessel Thunderchild. You have attacked a research station under humanity's protection. Surrender now, or be destroyed. You have 30 seconds to comply. In the observatory, Ven watched in awe as the human vessel single-handedly engaged the raider fleet. His species had known humanity was different, had sensed their potential when they first met. But this, Elder, Zyra called out urgently. The artifact chamber. The energy readings are off the scale. Something about the human ship's quantum signatures is causing a resonance effect. Ven's form pulsed with sudden understanding. Contact the human vessel immediately. What we discovered here, they need to know. Because I believe we just learned why the ancients left these artifacts for us to find. The battle for Harmony Station wasn't over. But as human marines secured sector after sector, as the Thunderchild demonstrated exactly what a Deathworld species could do when provoked, one thing became clear. The galaxy was about to change forever. Titans clash. Major Taurus's powered armor crashed through another bulkhead, railgun blazing. The raiders scattered before her, their weapons barely scratching her armor surface. Behind her, her marines moved with practiced precision, securing Aetherians and eliminating threats with ruthless efficiency. Section 7 clear, Sergeant Chen reported. Hostiles retreating toward the artifact chamber. Taurus's HUD highlighted the chamber's location and the impossible energy readings emanating from it. All units converge. Whatever they're after, it's down there. In the artifact chamber, Elder Ven and Zyra worked frantically to understand the sudden changes in the ancient technology. The quantum resonance from the human ship had triggered something, awakened systems dormant for millennia. The patterns, Zyra's form, pulsed with excitement. They're not weapon signatures at all. They're communication protocols. The chamber walls had come alive with shifting patterns of light, forming complex geometric shapes that pulsed in sync with the Thunderchild's quantum drive. The ancients, Ven realized, they weren't building weapons. They were building bridges. A massive explosion rocked the chamber as the raiders breached the final security door. Their leader, a towering figure in crimson armor, stepped through the smoke. The artifacts will be ours, the raider commander announced through a translation matrix. Your species is too weak to utilize their true potential. Wrong answer. Major Taurus's voice cut through the chamber as she and her marines dropped from the maintenance shafts above. Humanity isn't here to use the artifacts. We're here to protect those who study them. The battle that followed was brief but intense. The raiders, despite their advanced technology, found themselves overwhelmed by the sheer physical power of human marines fighting in powered armor. Their weapons, designed for low-gravity combat, proved nearly useless against Earth-forged protection. Taurus herself engaged the raider commander, their combat a stark demonstration of the difference between low-gravity and Deathworld evolution. The commander's enhanced strength and advanced armor meant nothing against a human warrior whose bones and muscles had developed under 3 times the natural gravity. Status report. Captain Morgan's voice crackled through the comms as Torres secured the last raider. Chamber secured, Torres responded. But Captain, you need to see this. The artifacts. They're responding to our presence. The chamber's energy patterns had intensified, forming what appeared to be a three-dimensional star map. At its center, Earth pulsed with a bright, distinctive signature. It was never about weapons, Zyra explained, her form rippling with wonder. The ancients left these artifacts as guideposts. They were looking for species capable of handling the physical and mental stress of quantum travel, species that could bridge the gap between different evolutionary paths. Like humans, Venn added, a species strong enough to survive in multiple environments, yet peaceful enough to protect rather than conquer. The star map expanded, revealing hundreds of similar installations across the galaxy. Each one, they now realized, waiting for a species that combined physical capability with moral restraint. The raiders, Torres observed, they wouldn't have been able to activate any of this, would they? Even if they had taken the artifacts. No, Zyra confirmed. The quantum resonance patterns require both the technological advancement and the specific physical characteristics that your species possesses. The ancients chose their successors carefully. Above them, the Thunderchild continued its battle with the remaining raider vessels, its human crew demonstrating exactly why Earth-born ships were becoming legendary across the galaxy. Each maneuver, each tactical decision, showed the unique combination of physical capability and strategic thinking that made humans so formidable. But it was more than just combat prowess. As the Marines helped injured Etherians and secured raiders for detention, they showed the other side of humanity. The compassion and care that made them not just powerful allies, but trusted friends. The artifacts pulsed one final time, their message now clear. Humanity's role in the galaxy was not just to fight, but to protect. Not just to survive, but to help others thrive. The age of isolation was ending, and a new era of cooperation was about to begin. Legacy of Earth. The Raider command ship's bridge fell silent as the star map's projection filled their tactical display. Their leader, Supreme Commander Vex, watched in growing horror as the Thunderchild executed another impossible maneuver, its quantum drive signatures perfectly matching the ancient artifact's resonance patterns. All vessels, full retreat, he ordered, but it was too late. Captain Morgan's voice cut through their communications. Your ships are disabled. Your boarding parties are captured. Surrender or face the consequences of threatening those under Earth's protection. In the artifact chamber, Elder Venn and Zira worked with the human scientists to decode the ancient's message. The chamber had become a nexus of activity, with Etherian researchers and human technicians working side by side. The artifacts aren't just communication devices, Zyra explained, her form pulsing with excitement. They're parts of a larger network, a galactic transportation system left dormant until a species worthy of its use emerged. A species with both the physical capability to handle quantum travel, Venn added, and the moral foundation to use it wisely. Admiral Chen's hologram appeared in the chamber, her expression thoughtful. The raiders would have destroyed everything trying to weaponize this technology. Instead, we have an opportunity to build something greater. The star map expanded, showing hundreds of similar installations across the galaxy, each one waiting for the right combination of strength and wisdom to activate it. We're not just protectors, Morgan realized. We're bridge builders. The Thunderchild's quantum drive hummed in perfect harmony with the ancient artifacts, creating a resonance that rippled through space itself. The Raiders' remaining ships, their systems disabled by precisely calculated gravitational pulses, drifted powerless. This is why Earth evolved as it did, Torres mused, watching her Marines help Etherian researchers secure the chamber, not to conquer, but to connect, to be strong enough to protect, yet wise enough to serve. In the days that followed, representatives from dozens of species arrived at Harmony Station. The news spread quickly. Humanity, the Deathworlders, had unlocked the Ancients' legacy. But instead of claiming it for themselves, they were offering to share it. The galaxy is vast, Admiral Chen addressed the assembled delegates. But distance shouldn't divide us. Earth stands ready to help bridge the gaps between worlds, between cultures, between evolutionary paths. The Aetherian Council, speaking through Elder Ven, was the first to accept. Humanity has proven itself not just through strength of arms, but through strength of character. We entrust them with this responsibility not because they demand it, but because they've earned it. One by one, other species joined what would become known as the Galactic Concordat. Even the captured raiders, facing humanity's justice system, found themselves treated with a respect they had never shown others. Aboard the Thunderchild, Captain Morgan watched the diplomatic proceedings with satisfaction. Her ship, designed for war, had helped forge peace. Her crew, trained for combat, had become ambassadors. New contact, Lieutenant Wei reported. Another distress signal, far rim of the galaxy. Unknown species requesting assistance. Morgan smiled. This was humanity's true destiny, not to rule through force, but to protect through presence. Not to conquer the stars, but to connect them. Plot a course, she ordered. Looks like someone else needs Earth's children to show them why being called Deathworlders isn't about destruction. It's about having the strength to preserve, protect, and unite. The Thunderchild's quantum drive engaged, its signature now matched perfectly with the ancient network. As they jumped into quantum space, Morgan reflected on how far humanity had come. From a single world of high gravity and harsh conditions, they had emerged not as conquerors, but as guardians. Not as destroyers, but as builders. The galaxy had feared the children of Earth, calling them Deathworlders. Now they understood. Earth's greatest gift to the cosmos wasn't its strength, but its heart. A heart big enough to protect all who needed shelter, to help all who sought growth, and to unite all who desired peace. The age of isolation was over. The era of unity had begun, and it started with a simple promise kept. When called, Earth's children would always answer.